Beterbiev versus Bivol, October 24th in Saudi Arabia. I am really looking forward to this fight. I think it will be a very interesting fight, but I am definitely going to wait till the fight draws closer to do the full fight breakdown. I learned my lesson from Fury Usyk 1, and unfortunately, once you post a video, YouTube doesn't let you repost it, so my lesson was learned. Now, the great thing about Beterbiev-Bivol is that there's a number of other fights that I'm also looking forward to. Number one has to be Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark in a rematch for the British heavyweight title. Now, huge thank you to the UK fight fans who pointed out this fight to me in the first place. So I actually did do a breakdown of their of Wardley Clark 1, and you can see it here. The wonderful thing is I fully expect the rematch to be just as exciting, because there was just so much back and forth action in their first fight that although it was a close fight, we've got to assume that both men are hungry, number one, and number two, they know they can't be overconfident heading into the rematch. So we'll assume that they're both doing their due diligence in the gym and on the road to come in at their top shape. Let's also assume that Wardley and Clark have devised an even more soundproof game plan for their rematch. Now, the second fight I'm also looking forward to involves cruiserweight Jai Opetaia. And again, I have to thank some of our fight fans for pointing out Jai to me. I'm really not that familiar with his opponent, Jack Massey, but Opetaia is definitely a fighter who's worth looking into. If you have not yet checked out Opetaia versus Beterbiev 1, they fought now twice, but do check out at least that first fight. Both men withstood some sort of unbelievable physical damage to persevere through that fight. And I don't want to give you any spoiler alerts, but I say, hey, go check out that fight in the full fight. Also of note, Jai Opetaia has an interesting background. He's got over three generations of fighters on both sides of his family, his mom and his dad. And Opetaia was rather a bit of a prodigy because he managed to make the Australian Olympic team when he was only 16. Now, when it actually came to him stepping in the ring at the Olympics in 2012, he was at the ripe old age of 17. But I do believe he is the youngest ever heavyweight amateur boxer to step in the ring at the Olympics. The third fight I'm looking forward to is Ben Whittaker's match with Liam Cameron. Now, again, I don't know much about Liam Cameron at all, but I am curious to see how Ben Whittaker chooses to perform. And again, thank you to the UK fans who brought Ben Whittaker to my attention. For fight fans who are not yet familiar with Ben, he takes the notion of showboating to another level. Now, that's not to say he's not a skilled fighter. He is. He arguably could have won the gold medal at the Olympics. He came away with the silver and was deeply disappointed. But in the professional ranks, Ben has started to let loose with his antics in the ring. My hope is that he just mostly sticks to showing off his crazy defensive skills and his terrific offensive skills, but he kind of lays off the taunting aspect. Due to his Olympic pedigree, Ben's already been on the big stage from the outset of his professional career, but this may be his sort of debut to a more global boxing audience. And honestly, I don't know that the American audience will be so taken with his with the taunting antics. And you can really check out any one of Ben Whittaker's fights that are posted to see what I mean about these antics. I mean, it's one thing to sort of just lean away with your hands down from your opponent's punches, or or to drop your hands and move around, or to throw sort of the crazy bolo type punches. But it's yet a completely new level when you start turning away, turning your back on your opponent, gesturing towards the audience, kind of hopping around on one foot or dancing around the ring quite literally. And honestly, I don't think that really adds anything to the performance. I mean, in the end, fight fans want to see the fight. So, Ben, just go out there and KO your opponent, please. Now, the one fight I'm not really so thrilled about is Shakur Stevenson versus Welshman Joe Cordina. And no offense to Joe, but quick look at him, he's somewhat mediocre in terms of being cast upon a world-class stage, number one. And number two, no offense to Shakur, but I'm not that thrilled with his performances. And I just hope he picks it up a little bit, because he's going to be on this world-class stage with an incredible main event, and as I said, at least 3 other fights that could turn out to be quite entertaining. So it is a huge opportunity for Shakur. He could turn me around. He could make me a believer. How? Simply by just taking it straight to Joe and knocking him out. Now, if you'd like to see my breakdown of Ben Whittaker as a fighter, I'll post it right here. Please make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you are aware when I do post my full fight breakdown for this upcoming card. Man, Beterbiev-Bivol. It's going to be exciting.